Welcome back to a new vid. I'm excited to get into this one because I haven't covered Hardwave in a long time. It's probably been about 2.5 years now since that reaction I did on the Drum Morale channel to Interval and Imminent Cyber Corporation's compilation, I believe. Yeah, so definitely hyped for this one. Yeah, I made this prediction like 4 or 5 years ago. I feel like Hardwave is the future of underground EDM and even mainstream, to be honest, because of just the eclectic influence and the boundary pushing approach. It brings forth so many elements of trap, of course, is like the predominant one, with future bass and trance and even techno at points, some dubstep thrown in there. It's just almost every subgenre of EDM thrown into a huge melting pot and being put out as this futuristic product that I feel like is going to reign dominant in the EDM airwaves in the decades to come. For Will, I'm just so in love with the genre. And obviously, yeah, there's been some mediocre music put out in it. Don't get me wrong, whether that's personal taste when it comes to me, like the kind of melodies I enjoy, or just less groundbreaking substance used as ideas. But I still think it's a genre that still has a lot of gas left and so many more avenues and directions to explore. And yeah, I think it's just really going to be a big thing in the years to come, hopefully, because of its just damn near limitless range, I feel like. But today I wanted to showcase my top 10 songs of the genre in order, starting from 10 and going all the way to my favorite, what I deem to be the greatest Hardwave song ever made. And spoiler alert, there's going to be multiple entries from one producer in here. Yeah, there's two producers that show up more than once, and both show up twice, if I'm looking correctly, yeah. So I didn't give a fuck about any of that, because I think when it comes to the goats of the genre, they're pretty easy to distinguish just because of the work they've put in towards furthering the genre and pioneering it. But yeah, bro, enough talk. Let's get into the first song here, and I'm going to be typing them in parallel as I speak. We have Skeller and Dead Crow with Adrenaline. So I guess I could say this. Skeller is one of the two producers that's on this list more than once, and I feel like he had to at least show up one time on my top 10 because he's the dude that's credited with Dead Crow, funnily enough, for pioneering the hardwave genre. I believe it was with, no, it wasn't with this song, even though this one's pretty groundbreaking too. It was with the one I'm gonna be showcasing next of Skeller's. But regardless, I mean, these two have done a lot for the genre as well, really putting out the first songs back in the day you could consider to be falling under that umbrella of hardwave. I also believe that Porter Robinson, with his side alias, A Virtual Self, did a lot towards actually birthing the genre, because the shit he was putting out under that moniker for like 2018 standards is absolutely insane. It's on some time travel shit. I'm not even joking. But that's besides the point. We have Adrenaline here, which I think is just a great song. I'm going to just play it out here, both drops. Hey, yeah, I just love how they preview the drop leads here. They're so anthemic. There's just like, this possibly is the most anthemic hardwave song. Just huge, surging, bro, punchy drums. I think one of the only Hardwave songs to land on Sable Valley, huh? I love this techno part here too. It's really adds to the appeal. Funny little croaky sound on top of that kick too. Kind of have to call back to that OG melody before it kicks back into full force in the switch. Also very sick, seamlessly flipping it back into trap, keeping the main idea. That little shriek screech thing on the kick. Rattling hi-hats. I think there's a little counter melody in there, some action going on. Yeah, just a great song. Like I said, that motif is so freaking catchy. It's insane. Spot 10. Moving to spot 9, we have another Skeller song. As I said, this one's going to be Arcadia. And this is one of the grandfather Hardwave songs I was mentioning. This released in 2018, late 2018. Holy shit. And yeah, it's just one of the OG songs. It might even be the OG song. I'm not all too familiar with Hardwave's inception, admittedly. I know Taneki filled me in on some stuff, but you just have to shout out Skeller for birthing one of the most important and promising waves of electronic music, in my opinion. And this whole cover art too just showcases, like, yeah, this genre is all about noir, neo-dystopian aesthetic. I just love the aesthetic that goes with the music too, you know what I'm saying? The tech wear and influence and shit. It's such a movement that I'm so in love with, bro. I will say with this song, obviously the lead isn't as bright or as brash or as high indie as a lot of modern Hardwave songs leads and synths are. You can excuse it because this is still the genre in its infantile fetus fucking stages, you know? But you can slowly see it coming to fruition here. It's still obviously very trap and even future bass inspired, but you hear the synths be a little more arpeggiated and the melody be a little more, you know, rhythmic towards that Hardwave direction. And obviously hard wave is technically a subgenre of wave, which is basically the same thing but much more mellow, to the point where the melodies aren't sidechained heavy and the feeling of the music isn't as propulsive. But Hardwave is definitely a more softer genre in comparison, but this one is just punchier and groovier and more up-tempo, and that's what I feel distinguished it from all the other regular wave songs during its time. Just syrupy sweet melody here. Shout out Luciana Caparazzo for the melody too. And shout out Bold Cat for the fucking cover art. You made sure to shout out the people in the description too. Yeah, bro. The vocal chop, the way it's just screaming into the void. Nice little reverb and delay to it too. This song has a lot of space. It actually does sound like the vocals in front of the leads. It's not a problem. It's just very interesting. When it comes to this song specifically, like if you listen to more modern hard wave, they're like side to side. Yeah, I just had to feature this song because it's like a legacy song and really influenced damn near every other song on here, most likely. So, yeah, that's that one. All right, now we have one which is actually a pretty unknown song, and it's from a producer who I've followed for about a year now. This is the song that put me onto him. Yeah, if it came out 9 months ago, then I've been following him for 9 months. This is Vulture by GRCZ. Multi-genre producer, makes super great stuff. I advise y'all to check him out. I can leave a playlist to the SoundCloud link for this thing in the description. But yeah, Vulture is a pretty modern song, obviously. Looking at the time it's released and the sound of it too. Let me just play it out, then I'll get into it. That's so funny. He put Hardwave 1 as a hashtag in the description. You really hear the white noise on top of those leads. Usually hardwave producers like combine it. He just said, fuck it, I'm going to put it on top just to have that little bit of extra energy. Yeah, not really much to say other than this is a personal favorite of mine. So underground hardwave song. What makes it for me is the hardwave switch. Hardstyle switch, my bad. And it has a little nice trance section here too.
Vulture.
Hardstyle incorporations in hardwave can really suck. I will admit it. It's difficult to pull off well, because I feel like most people, if they don't incorporate the obnoxious ass screeches, what they end up doing is just putting a regular hardstyle kick over the already existing hardwave melody from their hardwave drop, and a lot of the time it just feels messy. Here I think it's perfect. The hardwave kick has nice tonality and shit, and nice movement. Right there, dirt. Cool tonality. Actually is in key with the melody. And then y'all, honestly, and then he, I just had a huge fucking brain fart, Jesus Christ. And then he switches back into the hard wave section with a little trance section in between. That's what I wanted to fucking say. I think for every hardwave fan, this is an instant playlist ad because it's just so solid at what it does. It doesn't push the genre forward in any noticeable way or anything like that, but it's just a very good example of the best things that the genre can offer, I feel like, at least. But yeah, that was my spot 8. Let's get into spot 7. This is a song that released last year on the most promising hardwave label, in my opinion, that being Cyberwave Collective. This is Score by Juice. This song is pretty different, even in the hardwave context, because it has so much atmosphere, dog. Like, the shit isn't even sidechained, I feel like. It just looms in this beautiful, spacey, atmosphere. And let me play the bitch out. This first drop here is one of my favorite Hardwave drops of all time. The second drop isn't nearly as good. If it just would have been a repeat of the first, I probably would have put the song higher, but I still felt like I had to feature it because of this song's uniqueness. Like, the ambiance is so present in this song, but not to the point where the main leads get drowned out. It's right there. Like, if it were half a decibel louder, it'd already be overpowering. But this song is also just mixed so fucking well. Like, this is the wettest Hardwave song I've ever heard. And the steady trap beat is so simple too. It's nothing crazy like sometimes Hardwave producers tend to really put in these syncopated drums and off rhythms and shit to accentuate the kick and snare. Here it's just a simple like it's a halfway Hardwave song. It's like wave and Hardwave mixed. It's so dreamlike, bro. It's beautiful. Definitely a shout. Only has exactly 1,000 likes and 44,000 plays on SoundCloud, so make sure to check it out. By the way, I'm going to also leave my Hardwave playlist on Spotify in the description box if y'all do need more recommends. But off to the next one, we have Cataclysm by Saib West. Another producer who does a whole bunch of shit. Multi-genre. Super sick producer. And he has a very interesting approach to Hardwave because of his synth timbres, for one. Obviously his songwriting, and he tends to do this thing. I've noticed this on other Hardwave songs is too. This one just pulls it off the best, and I personally enjoy the melody the most. It starts off pretty sick, doing its thing, and then in the switch, the leads become like coarsified. There's more voices. They get like stereo spread and shit, and it sounds even more harmonious. I'm gonna show y'all what I mean. Pretty great melody, right? Pretty thin synth so far, like relatively. And now it just gets like doubled and tripled. And these chipmunk vocals are crazy. And I love how deep and punchy the kick is, like it's dragging along after the song. It's syncopation too. This switched fill here is so sick. And then he just puts in a whole other section, like with this crazy ARP in the background. I do have to mention this midsection too. I almost forgot. Because the whatever he's doing here, bit crushing and just like stretching out, fucking with the vocal chop here is so sick. Yep, great song. Moving to my spot. 2, 3, 4. 4 spot. Hold on. I had to make sure I had 10 songs on this fucking list. It's behind my camera. So we're at 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Now we're at 5. And we're heading to possibly the most futuristic song of the hardwave genre. Yes, even songs can sound futuristic in its own context. And that is Sage's remix of Altered Soul's Mind Upload. This song feels like I'm directly being plugged, like in the fucking Matrix, into a neo-futuristic world. That's the best way I can describe it. Everything is so extremely hi-fi and so glossy. And it's funny because there's a point where the melody just gets sidechained out and you have to fill in the blanks in your head to what it sounds like. Just little shit like that I just pick up on. And yeah, this one's so good. Like if I was to cry or freeze myself right now and wake up 200 years in the future, like this would be the song playing in my head. The syncopation here is crazy with the percussion. Little yeah, whoa, in there, so cute. And yeah, compared to a lot of the other songs on here, the backdrop is much more faint, just to showcase those very just incredible sounding lead sounds. This part here too, super sick, just slows the whole bitch. Yep. Shout out Sage for that one, bro. Shout out Sage for that one. Definitely one of the most forward-thinking ones. Okay. Now we got to get into my boy Taneki. One of the 2 songs I'm going to be featuring of his. One of his most streamed on Spotify, actually. So I believe it's one of his biggest. Where is he at? Right there. Techne by Taneki. Also a slower hardwave song, also fairly old, because the genre's only existed for about 6 to 7 years, right? This is from 2021, the same year I got introduced to it. This unfortunately was not the song. Well, what you mean unfortunately? This wasn't the song that put me on to hardwave in full. This came out a couple months before the other one did, but Taneki is definitely a more down-tempo-esque hard wave style song. I think the switch is one of the most melancholy, emotional things I've heard in the genre, which is why it's at my spot 4. And also, there's a 4 on the floor part in the second drop that's just super beautiful, bro. And yeah, this is perfect for a night drive.
Didn't wanna.
There's something about that super shrill lead melody that almost sounds dissonant that just gets me into my feels. It sounds like a voice crying out. And you just used one of those trap snares with a ding on it. Right here, bro, with the vocal too. This is a love song of the future. That's sustained, bro. I'm just now picking up on it. Or it just might be some white noise ambience. Sounds like some air can shit. Great little reset at the back end, yeah. If I haven't mentioned it already, I think Tanek is the GOAT of this entire shit, of the whole hardwave movement. And spoiler alert, the number 1 spot is one of his songs. Yeah. Just everything. It's the production, it's the melodies, bro. It's the songwriting, it's the arrangement. He just gets it. And he's the greatest to do it. Spot 3. Also a fairly big one. Also a fairly old one. We have Shame by Astral. I love Astral stuff. Right. And he was also one of the motherfuckers that got into the hardwave wave pretty early. I think he started off making wave music. I remember seeing his name around for a while now. I'm just not sure when I really got into his stuff. It might have been with this song. And I've really been invested into this song for about 2 years now. It's funny because here I am talking all this futurism shit when it comes to hardwave, but just looking at the cover art to this song and listening to it once I end up putting it on, it almost sounds, don't get me wrong, it is futuristic. I'm sorry, I'm just sitting all over my wires right now. It still feels like it's nostalgic. It's calling back to an earlier age. And I can't pinpoint exactly which age. Something like 19th century Baroque style. It sounds so artsy and so elegant. And the vocal sample is possibly the greatest one I've heard in any Hardwave song because of this one drawn out note. Here's the song though, homie. And he perfectly introduces the lead into the song at the right time. At first it's just a low do 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 do, and then it fully comes in right when the build up hits. I have a hard time. Sometimes I love this build up more than I do the drop. I'm gonna keep it real. I don't know. It's the steady drums. It's the lead. It's everything about it. And the vocal, of course. Admittedly also softer on impact compared to a lot of modern Hardwave songs. This just roaring backdrop, still kind of filtered and muffled out. The leads having this huge wash of reverb to them. And the low mid bass is barely being present. But the part I wanted to make y'all aware of is right here. That right there. You hear the vocal in the background and it's just perfect, bro. Yeah, everything is just so huge and so washed out. It's gorgeous. Funnily enough, a 19th century child might be able to stomach this because it's bright, it's fairly shrill, but it's also easy on the nerves. Beautiful track, bro. Let's get into the top two though. That was top three. My boy AK with Tears. Song came out last year and climbed my Spotify Wrapped playlist. I think it's at spot 10 or something. I'm not entirely sure right now. Of all the songs of 2024 I listened to. But let's just read this thing real quick, the description. Embark on an electrifying journey with AK's latest single, Tears, a vibrant fusion of energy and emotional depth that signifies a bold evolution in his musical voyage. Renowned for his evocative arpeggios, AK elevates his signature style, bringing together a sonic landscape that pulses with life and resonates with the experiences of joy, struggle, and triumph. I couldn't have worded it any better, and now I have less words to say for my own fucking description of the goddamn song. Maybe I should have just said that shit for y'all. Just plagiarized the motherfucker that wrote it up. Nah, I'm playing. Yeah. This is his best song to me, and also my second favorite Hardwave song at the moment, because I guess I could start with the drums. There's this almond break that plays in tandem with the trap percussion that's just so propulsive. It's constantly there. It just adds to this like galloping, like, you feel me? This song has purpose, bro. And in terms of arpeggios, because AK does a lot of rapid paced arpeggio shit with a lot of his music, but this one is definitely, it features longer melodies. The melody isn't as all over the place, but it's anthemic as fuck, you know? Let's just play it out. I'll play out the intro too. There's a part right there where he pitches up the re-space right before the kick hits. Oh man, if I hadn't played out the song, I'd have forgotten about that. I don't know why, but the tape stopped, and it hits you a second time. Yeah, the melody doesn't do much at first, but that lead bass is large, and yeah, it's just such a full and it's a big song. Used a little stab bass as a fake out. And you used a genius songwriting concept here, a technique that is actually pretty simple and a lot of people do, but it really helps out when you want to convey a similar emotion but keep it relevant to the song and keep it familiar. He just changed up the notation of the re-space. Whatever's going on the top is the exact same. And right there, it sounds like he hit two notes on the lead bass, and it just adds that much more impact. I could dissect this song all day, bro. For real. And I cannot make clear how important that almond break is to add to that galloping and propulsive nature of the song. And it's like the vocal chop's the third instrument. It fits perfectly and works perfectly with the lead bass. I feel like if you would have overdid the lead bass, it might have just been a little too convoluted, but he kept it simple here and it ended up being his best song. Also a model Hardwave song, just like the GRCZ one, just like a blueprint to what the genre should strive to be in its modern state. But let's get into my all-time favorite Hardwave song. This is actually the first Hardwave song I listened to where I knew I was listening to Hardwave, because it was on that debut Hardwave interval comp, Neo Subculture 1, curated by Taneki. The song is also by Taneki, and every time, like, I go back to this track, sometimes I think, yeah, it's been outdone nowadays, it's been 4 years, this and that, but I constantly marvel at, this song goes through 3 key changes, 3, and it's, let me see how long it is. It goes through 3 key changes, and it's just a saga of a Hardwave song. This song is a journey. It's an experience, bro. Yes, 5 minutes and 16 seconds. It goes through so much emotional turmoil. It does so much. Yeah. It's Plus Ultra by Taneki. And like I said, this is the first Hardwave song I listened to where I could actually classify the genre. And what I'm going to do is quickly show y'all the reaction I initially had to this track. And then what we're going to do is listen to it a second time. Melodicity on point. Okay. Love that build up. There it is. There it is, bro. Because keep in mind, I listened to Hardwave songs in the past. I just didn't know, like, is this a one-of-a-kind thing? Do motherfuckers make this generally? Is this even a genre? I didn't know. But after the video had wrapped and I uploaded it, and I think I read through the description that Troy put on the SoundCloud playlist of it, I realized that this is Hardwave. And to this day, the first track that I consider Hardwave I listen to is still the greatest song to come out the genre. I'm assuming this is retro wave. See, I'm saying retro wave and shit. Like, I have no idea. It's some subgenre of wave, and I'm all for it, bro. This is fire. That percussion is so great. And the melodicity. Key switch up. Oh, this is so gorgeous, bro. And I'm very sensitive when it comes to key switch up. So the fact he did it 3 times on this song just blows my mind to this day. Just the other drums in the mix, other than the kick, the syncopation they add, the emphasis they add, the accentuation they add, and then you have that Reese doing backflips. You have the lead doing its thing. The little vocal. This vocal's so gorgeous, bro. And the melody does even more, but now it's like a background element to just let the vocal shine. third key switch here, or second. I forgot how saturated this respace is. This is for real like a we laughed, we cried ass song. It just does so freaking much. And, man. The upper registers, frequency-wise. Oh, bro. I like. Oh, damn. Great song. Great song. I love it. Perfect introduction to the soundscape. And I still stand by that. Perfect introduction to the soundscape. This is an incredible song. One of my favorite songs ever. I'm gonna keep it real. Yeah. It's the greatest one. It's the greatest one. Should be in the fucking dictionary. What is Hardwave Taneki plus Ultra? That's gonna be the vid. Appreciate y'all for watching. Let me know any picks of y'all's that I missed, possibly in the description box, because I do need to get back into my Hardwave bag. I've been kind of absent from the scene as a whole, but yeah, more top 10 videos for sure coming in the future, covering different genres. Just let me know in the description box what kind of vids generally y'all would like to see from me, and that can be anything. No reactions to older music or anything like that, please. Some original content, because I do be up to date when it comes to releases. But thank you for watching. Take care, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. Bye.